boys.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, guys. Hey, is it sad that I look forward to Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays to see your faces?
Oh, I feel the same way, except for
good.
Bill.
Yeah, of course, because he's a cunt.
Feelings mutual.
No problem. Burlington Bill, how you feeling? You got those Birkenstocks rocking hard today? What?
Nope, just some delicious IPAs.
Ooh,
Yeah, from White Birch. Nice. I didn't know they were in Burlington.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Heady Topper can didn't give it away.
No, we stopped at Alchemist on the way home. Picked up.
I don't even think White Birch would be mad at sipping on a little bit of Heady Topper, the original New England IPA. So
One of the best. Yeah, I got the last two 4-packs.
Nice,
dude. We got there at what 11:45. They had 2 4-packs left. They opened at 11. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ, gone.
Jesus Christ.
Was there a line? Was there a line when you got there or no?
There was one guy in front of me, but he was packing up, and they're like, "Oh, did you place an order?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh, what do you want?" I was like, "I'll 8 of the Headies," and he's like, "Oh, you're lucky. Someone just canceled an order." I was like, "Yes." And then I grabbed that other one, the Focal Banger. I haven't had this one yet, so I picked a 4-pack of those up.
That's what I call Ray's mother.
Ooh.
So you had fun up there, did you? In the land of green
Hippies.
mountains and
Hippies and tree huggers.
So many hippies up there. It was freezing, and then fucking everything is their COVID stuff's weird. So everything's like,
well, they're weird to begin with.
yeah. So
I mean, let's be honest with each other.
no bars are open.
I was kind of thinking that. I'm like, I mean, I don't know much. I don't really stay up to date with the happenings of Vermont on a daily basis, but pretty liberal state. You have to imagine. I missed it. I wasn't looking at them. I figured going into Burlington would be a town that was not totally open in terms of COVID. And
it's the state. So like if you don't serve food, can't be open.
No, it's like mass.
Yeah. So we stopped at a bar, and they're like, all right, well, we had dinner last night, some Italian place, whatever. Then we stopped at just a bar to have a couple of drinks. And they were like, all right, we have to put food on the menu, like on your bill. I was like, okay, whatever. We were just looking for like chips and salsa or whatever. They're like, look,
just some nachos like the old man. They want some goddamn nachos.
They charge us 50
nachos
cents.
and a margarita.
Yeah, it was
give me a nachos Italian margarita, baby.
50 cents for chips, and that was it. I was like, all right, cool,
sweet,
that's great.
Yeah.
That's
And they're
great.
like, we have to do this to stay open. Like, you
skate in the system,
like,
baby. Yeah. Well, that's fun. They like their hippies, their IPAs, weed, and lesbians and guns in Vermont. So
sounds like check for mark for Bill on all of those.
Yeah.
Speaking of state, Ray, are you wearing one of my Blue Jays jerseys today?
Yes, just got this in from Wuhan. No, I just got it from Wuhan.
Is that Guerrero?
Vlad Guerrero Jr., baby. Yeah, you got it.
Why do you?
Do you know he came in?
Why do you buy just such random fucking jerseys? I don't understand this.
I like the color.
When we finally do a Cribs edition, it should just be on Ray's jersey closet, which I'm sure is just a pile of fucking jerseys somewhere.
They're all hung up. Alphabetical order.
Did you guys hear that Vlad Guerrero Jr. came into camp 40 pounds, not underweight, but 40 pounds less than what he played in last year and the years prior?
He's going to be sick.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Well, he was a big boy when he came up.
I'm saying, how do you play 40
boy.
pounds heavier if you're just at playing weight now? Like, how did you...
Baseball players. What do you expect?
I guess. Yeah, that's probably right. He's
probably the same weight, though. Like, it's just muscle. Have you seen the pictures of him right now?
He's jacked.
He is fucking jacked. Steroids, baby.
It's not going to matter unless he can be a bad ball hitter like Papi was.
Best bad ball hitter
Dude,
of all time. I used to love
He never
him
wore gloves either, right? He put his hands in the sand, fucking.
His golf swing that he used to hit for home runs. Oh,
nasty.
Cream in my pants looking at that.
Before we get the show started, Ray, have you had enough time in your therapy session in Fortnite? Have we got rid of the sass that we dealt with on the text chat this morning?
There was no sass.
Listen, you're a baby back bitch, dude. Baby back bitch.
Listen, my wife and kids were gone all day. I was in my underwear.
Done an ESPN fucking bracket before?
No, they suck.
Loser.
March Madness brackets are fucking terrible.
Anyway, we're doing a March Madness bracket, people. If you want to join, check out our social media. We'll get it out there.
Bill's just pissed because he's going to lose, and the things I have going through my head.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
it. You are doing it. You are doing it.
It's already been decided. You have to do a butt plug. Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show. Monday headlines, March 8th. Welcome to the show.
Can't stop
I'm out on March Madness. I told you before. Before you started. I was like, I'm not doing it. I hate March Madness. I hate
That was awesome.
Ray, you
Hate
okay?
it.
No, it just went everywhere. God damn it! I gotta call my guy Woo on now. Woo.
We ruined the Vlad jersey and the butt on the butt plug joke. Did you get a new gaming chair too?
I've had this. Yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay. Well, looks snazzy.
So he can beat all them fucking 12-year-olds at Fortnite like a
You're such a loser. But the one thing you do well is you drink white birch beer. Is that one you have going right there? Doesn't matter if it's not. White birch beer out of Nashua, New Hampshire, our number one sponsor. These guys treat us well, and they will treat you well as well. There's a lot of wells in that. If you head on down to Ray, the address, please.
460 Amherst Street, Nashua, New Hampshire.
There you go. Head on to the tap room. Get yourself a hat like Billy Badward's over here. Get yourself a flight. If you see it in the stores, grab a 6-pack. Tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you White Birch Brewing. Gentlemen, we always have a couple things to catch up on over the weekend. Let's start Bruins and that shitbag, Tom Wilson. Update from the email, 7-game suspension. Alexander Ovechkin called it bogus or stupid or bullshit or something that he got suspended. Raymond, as a fan of the Washington Capitals, because you have to be a fan of a loser city, and that's what this team is proving to be with that kind of mentality. Although there are some hockey people out there saying that the hit was not as bad as people making it out to be.
I don't understand how they can say that.
Brandon Carlo's out maybe indefinitely for the season. I mean, they're calling him week to week. He went to the hospital. He has a brain contusion.
Yeah, he talked to Bruce today, and he's out indefinitely. Yeah, it's go ahead. You could give your take, Ray.
Good, Ray. But we've just seen. Yeah. All right. Well, let me say my piece, Ray. Then we'll give it to Bill. I just don't get how a guy where his last hit like this had 20 games, now he has 7 games. You've seen, as Bruins fans, we saw it up close and personal with Mark Savard. These type of hits to the head can end fucking careers. Bergeron almost had it, and obviously we had the great. We didn't get the sound, but we got the picture of Bergeron basically going over there and scolding Wilson as he's stretching.
Don't forget Nathan Horton too was a pretty big part of the Bruins. Like he got fucked up in the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals. He signed Columbus.
Yep.
And then he flamed out. I think he signed a 5 or 6 year deal, probably like $5 million a year. Bruins couldn't afford him, obviously. And I think he made it 2 years in that contract, and injuries put him out. And I think it was either back or directly related to head injuries. So,
well, there's a reason that the NHL has changed its style of play, and there's a reason that enforcers are not in the game because they're trying to get rid of hits like this. Ray, I just don't understand. I just don't understand where they're coming from in this one.
Especially when he did this 3 weeks ago to the Pittsburgh Penguins, a similar hit after the whistle. He's a dirty player. He's the new Matt Cook of the NHL. I mean, they're saying the 7 games equals 10 because the 56 game season this year, but it's still 10 games. It's not enough. I mean, this guy should be out indefinitely for the rest of the season, or until he can come back, until Carlo can come back.
What do you think of that idea, Bill? That's been floated up before, where if you lay a controversial hit or a dirty hit, that you should be suspended indefinitely until the player, if he misses time, comes back. I mean, you open yourself up for a lot of corruption in that, and holding guys out and so on and so forth.
Especially if you're in a playoff race, if you think about that. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you up, but if you're, say, Capitals, Bruins, Carlo's out to the end, you're fighting for first place. Carlo's healthy. Tom Wilson's 30-goal scorer, one of the best 15, 20 forwards in the league, truthfully. Like, he's that skillful, skill. So, I mean, yeah, you could easily see it. You could easily say, yeah, he's not good, but you do have to pass that independent one. But
yeah,
I don't like that, honestly. I don't like it.
I'm also against it for those reasons. But in this case, with a player like this and a hit like this, you can certainly read the tea leaves, wait a day or two to see how Brandon Carlo's coming out, go, oh shit, this guy's hurt. We have to give Tom Wilson a suspension that's going to at least try and mirror the amount of time that Brandon Carlo is expected to potentially miss. And that, I feel like generally sometimes I don't even know what to say actually with the NHL Rules Committee, because I feel like they're all fucking overplaced, and this one seems way, way bad, way, way wrong. And Ovechkin and the Capitals have become public enemy number 1 in Boston. Like, you're just enabling them. Fuck you, too. Ovechkin. You prick.
Peter Lafayette, their coach, is coming out the same thing. Oh, that wasn't a penalty. They didn't call it on the ice. Okay, well, when you get a fucking in-person suspension hearing, like you're getting 5+ games. they clearly knew you targeted the head. If it was incidental, you didn't target the head, you're going to get a phone call and you're going to get under 3 or under. In person is that 5 game. NHL needs to stop enabling Tom Wilson. This is his 5th suspension in his career. The last one came in 2018 where he got 20 games. It was later rescinded to 14 games. After he already was suspended 16, it was all fucked up. They sat him down and basically told him, like, this shit can't fly. Bill Daley this year, he's the fucking deputy commissioner, handles all this bullshit. Basically said, before the season, so truncated campaign's not going to affect the length of suspensions. Okay, so you're giving him a 10-game suspension any other year where you clearly targeted his fucking head. It's been proven. The replays show it. You gave him 20 games for Suttonquist as a repeat offender the 4th time. I get it. He hasn't been popped since 2018, but you're a repeat fucking offender. I get it. It's been 160 games that he hasn't been in trouble, but you don't lose that muster. And I'd say the same thing about Brad Marchand, who's lost $880,000 in fines in his career. Tom Wilson's he's $1.25 million in his 5 suspensions now. The NHL needs to get rid of these guys. 10 games, even in an 82 game series schedule, is a fucking joke. How do you go from 20 to 10 games when there's a clear history of targeting and bad fucking cheap shot hits? I cannot stand these players. I can't stand Brad Marchand for it too, and he's our guy. And he kind of learned his lessons and calmed down. You would think a player as skillful as Wilson would learn, but no. You could end guys' career like this, and it's complete and utter fucking horseshit that the NHL is allowing it. When you don't call something on the fucking ice and you let that shit go, he should have been out of the fucking game. The worst thing was he had to answer with the fight, which was kind of a bullshit fight, whatever. Everyone was trying to fight him. He eventually picked the guy he thought he could crush, in my opinion. But again, it's the NHL is enabling him. You cannot continue to say, we're cracking down, and then a fucking brutal hit like this that could potentially end the guy's career. He's not going to come back for the rest of the fucking year, yet you give him 7 fucking games. They should have did what the fucking MLB did, the Joe Kelly incident. He got 12 fucking games. And they said, we're not dealing with this bullshit. The NHL can't, if they don't start doing this to these guys, these hits are never going to leave the game because you're enabling it, saying, yeah, I'm going to cut down 7 games. Bullshit. It should have been at least 14 in this shortened season, maybe more. If you're suspending him 23 years ago, it should have been between 20 and 30 because, wow, the guy from the Cardinals.
Habitual offender.
Yeah.
Who was the guy from the Cardinals, Tavares or something, got 27 games. Rafi Torres, 27 games for repeated hits. And I get it. Tom Wilson hasn't been suspended for 3 years, but it's bullshit. That's the benchmark. If you get suspended 27 years, you got rescinded to 22. That's the fucking benchmark for repeat offenders, and this is fucking horseshit.
Yeah, and you can't. There's not a whole. The only reasoning why they're coming out and saying is because it was, it potentially was a hockey hit, but like you said, they had him come in person, so that's automatic
5+.
You target
automatic.
Yeah. So if that's the case and you're repeat offender, there's really nowhere to hide on this if you're the NHL. And for the Capitals, I get you stand behind your guy and you're the team, but you don't have to come out that strong. No. I mean, you could say, hey, look, we think it's 50-50 there. It's tough break. We hope Carlo gets back on the ice. Tom Wilson, is our guy. We were supporting him. But no, they're basically coming out like this is bullshit. Like that was a clean hit. It's like, yeah.
Up there with Ulf Samuelsson in my book, especially you think guys that can end some careers. Ulf Samuelsson basically ended Cam Neely's career with fucking dirty hits to the knees and him. And then Tom Wilson's the same player. I mean, Ulf Samuelsson was a good player. Tom Wilson's a great goal scorer. He was one of the main reasons they won a cup a couple years ago. And then, like, a player this good shouldn't be this fucking dirty. And again, it's the same thing with Brad Marchand. A player that good should not be this dirty. You do not need to do this in your fucking game. I get it. You want to be physical, but you do not need to do this bullshit because someone fucking chirped you on the ice and you're going to try to end some guy's career.
And it wasn't Carlo. Carlo didn't chirp
No, he's a fucking defenseless guy on a board. It's like a Mack truck.
For that not to be called boarding in game anyway is just ridiculous.
Dude, he skated half the fucking ice at him.
The refs were getting a ton of heat after the game saying,
and they should have their own meeting with the league. And I'm totally for all sports. Refs they should have media. They should have the media up their ass. They should be
Absolutely.
I know that some leagues penalize them, like the NFL will keep a crew
Baseball
out.
Does too.
And
Baseball
so
does too.
But yeah, man, bad. And on the ice, obviously in that game we saw a huge lift from the Bruins, came out and just absolutely smoked them. I know
that's for sure.
That I sent you guys that YouTube link.
Man. That's an understatement.
That goal from I know we don't call them the perfection line, but the number one line, that was
line.
Hockey poetry in fucking motion. I know at that point it was that their fourth goal or something, so it wasn't. But like it was just it gave me, it was an erection line. That's how good it was.
You know what it looks like too, Rich? Sorry, like where you're 5-on-3 penalty. The passing, the crisp passing, like it's so
everything
disgusting.
was tape to tape. Everything was
like
tape to
you
tape.
see why the fucking stupidest nickname, the perfection line. I mean, you see that's why. Like it's just so crisp and it's just so smooth, and you just see it. Oh, it's just disgusting.
And Bergeron is
makes me hard just thinking about it.
Bergeron is clicking right now, and so the response was good, I think. But now once we get past the anger, bullshit, and everything else, Brandon Carlo is a big piece of this team. And if they lose him for a significant amount of time, including the injuries you already have, including the youth that you have, the new guy that they brought in, that took the Tenorti,
yep.
that took the fight. He's nothing
2 games
special.
Two games into his Bruins career, and he's taking the fight.
Love it. And
you've seen a lot of guys, honestly, Ray. Honestly, you see a lot of guys because they want to make a pressure on their new team.
Oh, but I mean? That's what you got to do.
That's the way to do it. You're in a new team. You're a guy that's bounced around the league a lot. You're a first round draft pick. You've only played like 100 games, 96 games.
He has a crazy career. He's played like 900 games in the AHL, I think. Or 600 or something.
600.
Insane.
It's 456 to be exact.
Whatever it is. It's just the point is, you're as high as we were on this defensive core and the youth stepping up to start the season. These injuries have put you in a bad way, and Brandon Carlo is your second best defenseman. So Grzelcyk's back, I know, but I don't know. It'll be tough to see. This team is resilient. We've seen that, but skill goes a long way. Tuukka Rask can't save you every game, so. They might, it's very, very plausible that they drop a couple games here because of the lack of Carlo. And that just amplifies this Tom Wilson bullshit, especially in a division where, if you were in any other division, you'd be leading right now. If you were in the North, you'd be leading by, however many points, or you'd be guaranteed
third place right now.
So, you know what I'm saying, Bill? Stop fucking correcting my details.
I'm not correcting.
Driving me insane.
I'm not correcting shit. No, but like. Fuck! I lost my thought. Never mind. But like this is hold on, no, it's back. This alters the trade deadline now because Carlo's out long term. Jeremy Lauzon is hurt. He's out a month.
Eddie Tupper's slipping in.
The edibles are slipping in.
The edibles and the fireballs he's been
Carla Laza.
No, but it amplifies the defensive need on the trade deadline. As much as we all want scoring right now, at a chance if you can't. You might have to blow up your roster at scoring and defense. So right now you have a bigger need on defense than you do on offense right now. Because again, Andre Kashuk probably is not going to play this year, but if he does, it's a little bit of something. But again,
so are you surprised? Sorry to interrupt you, but you're surprised that I think it was Fluto Gisauer reported that the Bruins are heavily looking at defense as a trade candidate, not at the wing. Is that surprised? This was before the Carlo injury. I found that surprising because we've been harping on the secondary scoring all season long, and DeBrusk has been rumored as a guy that can be moved. It would be surprising to me if they go find that left shot defenseman, I guess, that they're looking for.
You're gonna have to again. I think the young guys started hot, but their play started slipping a lot, and you wanted that depth there. John Moore, Kuhlman, all those guys. Carter Clifton. I'm sorry, those guys aren't. They're better. They're not more than a 7-8 defenseman. So, I mean, that's where you kind of build your need. If you can get an established veteran like a Keith Yandel, who I would fucking love here, and now with the Brandon Carlo injury, Florida probably, there's rumors they benched him earlier that ended his like Iron Man streak earlier this year, and he's not happy. He's a Boston guy. A guy like that would fit perfect. And now it just amplifies the need. Even before you're putting too much, pressure on the young guys, and it showed. You got Zorbo, who's been banged up. Now you have Lauzon out. Vakanainen has been hit or miss. He looked terrible playing against Charlie McAvoy. So, I mean, your depth there, you're seeing what you have at depth, and you don't have any depth now. You had depth when you had Krug and Chara. You don't have that depth anymore. So, I mean, targeting that, because I think it would be the cheaper option than going to get a goal scorer, because the goal scorer is going to cost a premium at the trade deadline, and I don't think the Bruins are going to pay a premium right now.
That's probably true. Speaking of depth and roster moves, I sent you this just to put the sting one more time or for another time in that 2015.
I'm already angry. You're just gonna make me even more angry.
That Barzal goal, the goal of the year candidate over the weekend was ridiculous. And just so everyone knows, the next subject on this Bruins talk is should Senyshyn come up and Senyshyn.
Can I throw some stats at you real quick?
Please do.
Go ahead.
All right. So obviously Zobro, DeBrusk, and Senyshyn were picked before Barzal.
Thanks for reminding me.
Barzal has more career games at 258 to 246 combined for those three. Goals 68 to 64, assists 161 to 68, and points 229 to 132. Talk about egg in your fucking face there, Billiam. Woo!
I love.
Dude, I told you at the. I told you
in hockey names too. By the way,
yeah, we all do. I told you in the fucking.
You're gonna take French class.
Yeah, earlier this year,
European.
Him or Dubois, and I wanted
Bonjour.
Barzal. That was the guy. He's disgusting. He's
Barzal.
a great.
I think it's Barzal. I didn't know there was an I. I think
Barzal.
Barzal, whatever. It's Brazil. I'm just gonna call him Brazil. No, he was the guy I wanted. If you want to talk about impact trade, him and Dubois both wanted out, and the Islanders were smart and paid him because they didn't want to repeat the John Tavares bullshit where they let him walk for nothing. They paid him. They stepped up, but he wanted out. He came a week late in training camp. That's the guy I wanted. That's the guy they should have fucking drafted. He went 16th overall. You picked 13, 14, fucking 15.
Not to relive the past, but what are your thoughts on Senyshyn coming up, considering the fact that Bjork, Kasich, even DeBrusk, these guys haven't done shit for you. Wagner, at this point, what the hell? Right. He's looked good in the AHL, which is good, I guess.
So the biggest problem with him, I believe he's got to clear waivers. I don't think anyone's going to take him up because he's out that option. I don't think he's on a two-way deal. So
if they send him back down,
I think you to bring him up, he still has to clear waivers. I thought.
To bring him back down.
Think so. I think
if you bring him up, there's nothing. But if he goes back down,
something weird. Yeah. So anyway,
waivers.
Give him a shot. Bjork sucks.
Yeah,
DeBrusk has one. DeBrusk has one goal. You just paid him. I think the biggest one. I mean, Kashik's out. He's probably not going to play this year. Another concussion. So I mean, he's done.
Speaking of concussions,
concussions. I didn't know there was a T in concussion. Can you have a
self-inflicted concussion via too much weed gummy? Like your brain just acts like it's not an actual physical, but inside it's going.
I always call them concussions.
Never heard you say that. It was pretty funny.
I said it the other day at the show. You said,
I didn't realize that was intentional. I thought you were just saying that. All right. Well, that's Bruins talk. Fuck Tom Wilson. Fuck the Capitals, Ray. You suck. That team. You're an asshole. They'll be fighting all. I mean, we said this before the season started. These, the way the schedule's set up, playing interdivision squads.
8 games they got each, I believe, or something like that. 8 or 10. What?
Get your popcorn ready because that's gonna be a fucking.
You know what else I read today? That the Bruins have yet to play the Sabres, and someone said mark 16 points on the tally sheet for the Bruins there. So
no, last year the Buffalo fucking. I think they won like 2 out of 3 games.
Oh, was last year this year? Did you see the highlight? Did you see the highlight of Taylor Hall falling on his face on the breakaway from last night?
Yeah, and you guys we all want Taylor Hall and the Bruins for DeBrusk.
I mean, at this point, we're talking about Senyshyn. So
maybe you can send Senyshyn over for Taylor Hall, and then we'll add a whole line of suck.
Yeah, we'll see if Taylor Hall can get through waivers when they send him down to fucking Providence. All right, boys. Well, these players don't suck, I guess. NBA All-Star Game is tonight, Sunday, as we record.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know.
Okay,
I swear to God,
I guess
thought it
we're
was next
skipping
weekend.
ahead to that question. I haven't watched the NBA All-Star Game in years. In years, I have not watched it. I mean, I know it's on.
The game or the weekend? The whole weekend?
The whole
no, I watched a little bit of the.
I watched the skills competition.
I take that back. I watched last year's second half of the game when they instituted that new rule and they went into
the Kobe one.
And Kyle Lowry was taking fucking charges.
What was that? Like it was like 1 point for you win each quarter and you get it was like a point system.
It's something.
And then you get add 24 to it or something at the end of your score, and that's how you win. Oh fuck!
It's basically first to 21 in the fourth quarter, or to get to the
24.
Okay, whatever. You have to get to the point total, and you're paying for playing for $700,000 for a charity or something. So there's something on the line, and you have to get. It's not time, so you can't just run at the clock. You got to go get the points and win by 2. So that was cool. It brought some energy, but watching those guys try to play basketball against NBA players without a system in place and understanding where guys should go you can see like what actual one-on-one basketball looks like in the NBA, and
Dude, it's like watching the Pro Bowl. It's like watching the Pro Bowl.
Bad. It was such bad offense.
I'm not.
And they were trying is the problem. It's not like they weren't trying. Like generally, these All-Star games, they don't try on defense, and it's 150 to 160, and it's dunks and threes and whatever. But they were trying, and it sucked. It was cool for a little bit, like, oh, fuck, they're playing defense, but then they couldn't score because they didn't know how to play together. It was gross. So I'm interested to see kind of what it looks like. I am intrigued to see the Jalen versus Jason on two different teams. They've been talking a little shit to each other in the media. They're also in the 3-point competition together. Am I going to watch it? I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not watching a fucking minute of this game. I could give two shits about this.
There we go. Raymond?
I'll watch. I like the 3-point contest. It's always the interesting thing. The dunk contest never got to me. The skills competition is always cool to see because you sometimes have the big 7-foot European guys in there running down the court like a gazelle. So it's pretty interesting.
You almost said Giselle.
I did.
Giselle.
I did.
Giselle.
Sorry. The Stouts are kicking my ass tonight too. So I apologize. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to watch the game.
No, it would be better.
I don't watch the Pro Bowl. I don't watch the All-Star game.
Neither do I. Everything you just said would be better if it was on another night, like last night.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch that. This game, I don't give a fuck. Now, I don't even know when the skills competition starts. I don't know when the fucking 3-point competition starts.
Everything starts.
I don't even know when the fucking game starts. I didn't even know it was tonight.
Oh,
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, they ruined it. They shouldn't even play this game anyway. It's ruined. Fuck off, NBA. Fuck off. Read a room, Jeff.
I don't really
read a room.
I don't have that.
Is that a beat?
You said you're not going to beat that out anymore. You said no more.
All right. Yeah, the dunk contest. I blame that on LeBron. As soon as LeBron denied to go to the dunk contest,
it ruined it.
Who was the last one? Vince Carter. That was it. Steve
2001.
Francis, I'll tell you what. Steve Francis had some good years out there.
Yeah.
And,
they were
Jason Richardson.
stars.
Yeah, even Jason Richardson had a couple, but after that, it was nothing. Remember, I'll tell you what, the worst thing I ever saw was when Birdman, that white guy with all the tats that got suspended for cocaine. I literally
suspended for cocaine,
aka your idol.
Child porn.
No, it was drugs.
It was child porn.
They would not let him back in the league.
He was falsely accused of it after a thorough investigation on it. It was child porn.
Anyways, but it took him like 25 minutes to make a dunk. And I'm like,
it takes them all 25 minutes to take a dunk. It's so stupid. Dunk contest is terrible.
Well, they time limit now.
Yeah, that's why it's terrible.
Ray, ask me who's in the dunk contest.
Who's in the gun?
I don't know.
The only one I know is Obi Toppinen because that's the only one that I've been hearing.
I know the name. I can't even tell you who he plays for.
How many people are in it? 4?
Yes. I think so.
3.
Oh, 3. Fuck me.
I think. I don't know. Who knows?
It's in halftime, right? This is fucking.
I think it would be more funny if you got some people from like the audience and had them like 5'11" white guys lower the rim a little bit and let them see what they can do. That'd be more entertaining in my book.
Probably would be. Yeah.
The dunk contest is trash.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have the Celtics angle here, and hopefully they're tampering their asses off and getting actual talent to come play instead of the latest NBA release, who just breaking news signed with the Brooklyn Nets, Blake Griffin, in his $36 million a year contract, was bought out by the Pistons, cleared waivers, just signed for the Nets for, I'm assuming, the vet minimum.
Veteran minimum, yeah.
I didn't want anything to do with this guy. If he goes to the Nets, who knows? I mean, we've been waiting for that second dumpster fire to catch fire ablaze in Brooklyn. It hasn't quite yet. Ray, do you have any thoughts on Blake Griffin going to the Nets?
He's ring chasing right now. I mean, that's all it is. He's pretty much aligned himself up with the championship team. They're plus 300 to win the championship right now. So going there, he's just chasing the ring.
Can he add anything? I mean, what does he do anymore? Every time I see him in the last 2 or 3 years, he's been dribbling at the 3-point line, hocking up shots.
Yeah, his points per game have gone down since 1920. It's down to right now. It's 12.3. His rebounds are 5.2. 36% field goal percentage. I mean, he is declining.
He's always hurt. I saw a tweet that he hasn't had a dunk since 2019.
I saw that too.
He was hurt the first day he stepped on a court in the league. He split his kneecap in half. And it's been downhill.
Yeah, but he jumped over a Kia hood. Bill, are you okay?
Bill, you doing business deals over there?
Are there butterflies in front of you?
No.
You seeing fucking Burlington butterflies again? All right, let's move through this then. Gentlemen, why don't you give me the recap of UFC 259 last night?
Bill, would you like to go or would you like me to go?
No, I'll go.
Okay.
3
Stellar.
Hold on, shut the fuck up. 3 title fights last night. The biggest one, Sterling and Jan, biggest controversy. Illegal knee. I thought it was kind of bullshit. Ref kind of mentioned that he was a down fighter. You can't knee someone in the face when he's down. The doctor stepped in and said, hey, he can't go. He went to the hospital right after. So, I mean, he was really fucked up. So you got a title change there. Amanda Nunez, first round knockout. She's a fucking stud. She was minus 1250 in that fight. She's disgusting. There's no one ever going to beat her. And the big one, Jan versus Izzy, was the big one that went down. Izzy coming up from the middleweight, coming up to light heavyweight. The fight, the hype was more for the fight than the fight itself. It was unanimous decision for Jan Blachowicz, or the good Polak up there. It's his first title defense after he beat Dominic Reyes earlier in the this year. But I mean, Dana White called out the judges after that fight. Again, he's calling out the scoring system, the 10-8 scoring system, 10-9 scoring system, like you do in boxing. UFC gives it. Dana kind of mentioned it after the fight. You beat the shit out of somebody. That's how you get a 10-8 score. You don't basically go to a draw. They're using it too much. UFC scoring needs to adjust. But I mean, again, decent night of fights. You expected more out of the main event. It was more technical than anything. I was hoping Jan would have knocked out Izzy because Izzy talks too much. But
sorry to interrupt you, Bill. If I could give a grade on last night's fight night based purely on the monotone review that Bill just gave us, I would say it was a 4. Would you say that the night was more than a 4?
No. I mean,
okay, well done, Bill.
The main event, though. I mean, you have a guy that weighs 20 pounds more than you. Why? Like, use your size to your advantage. I mean, the way that Izzy didn't put any weight on for this fight is just ridiculous. He thought that he could be the quicker, faster fighter. It didn't work out.
He was only 5 pounds lighter.
No, but Jan was 20 pounds heavier.
205.
He came in at 220 last night.
205 though is the weight class.
But he weighed in at 2. You're not listening, Bill. He weighed in at 205, but he came in at 220.
In one day.
He said it. He said he was going to put on 20 pounds overnight.
That's incredible.
So he used his size. He used his size against him, and that's all he needed. The quicker, faster guy is not going to beat you. The bigger guy is going to beat you, and every time. So I think Izzy has to put some weight on it if he goes back up. Amanda Nunez has nothing left to prove. I mean, she's beaten everyone in that fucking division, both divisions, because she's the champ. And then, I mean, sucks that Jan did that fucking flying knee, but I mean, it's pretty funny.
You know what though? That's actually kind of cool. That actually sets up the TJ Dillonshaw's coming back for suspension. He used to be the champion in that division too. He lost to Triple C, I believe, beat him. So I mean, that sets him up. He's going to get a stepping stone fight, basically a number 1 contender fight. Sterling is not a great fighter. Jan dominated that whole fight.
Why is that, Bill? Why is that? Because he's Russian. He's Russian. You always put money on the Russians.
Yeah,
always put money on the Russians.
Well, usually, you do I don't want to get into it, but I would have not bet Jan.
Oh wow!
if I had the chance.
Oh,
but I mean, again, you don't want to win.
I feel like we're going to head down into some kind of rabbit hole that
you don't want to win the title. You don't want to win a title on a disqualification, and that's what.
No, that's why he left the belt in the ring.
And he also had to go to the hospital because he had a fucking brain contusion because he got a knee to the face when he's on the ground. And again, that's on the refs too. They need to step in a little bit more. He said it was a down fighter. Peter Yan said it too. He's like, I fucked up, but they're going to run it back. You got to run it back at this point. You can't lose on a disqualification. But yeah, it was a pretty lame night of fights, honestly.
My advice is gain more weight. Right. What? How long did it take you to put 20 pounds on? More than a day?
10 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah. I'm
insane,
like 20 years.
Yeah. Izzy was only 200 pounds. So it's incredible. And he wanted no part of putting weight on.
No, he didn't want it.
And that sucks. It doesn't set up
Because then you got to cut it. And this is whatever. No,
not him. No, he's moving up in weight. He doesn't have to cut it.
Look, you don't understand. We've all put on the weight. That was the easy part. Getting rid of the weight is the hard part. So I totally relate to that. Just go get your ass kicked. It's a lot easier to get your ass kicked and to shed 20 pounds. So
Yeah,
I'm with this guy.
What sucks though, it doesn't set up the John Jones fight against Izzy. That was the fight that everybody
that's what Dana
wanted to
wanted,
see. Yeah, it can't. You can't now. You didn't fucking win the title. He ain't gonna come down to fucking light heavyweight and not title fight. He vacated that title. He gets a title shot, and that was the title shot he would have came down for. He's not gonna fight Jan. Yeah, I mean, fuck.
All right. That was well over 3 minutes on UFC, and it was a shitty night of fights. So stay tuned for better nights of fights, I guess. Football talk. Bears are heavily in on Russell Wilson. The Chicago Bears should trade away the farm for Russell Wilson. They have not had a good quarterback, a franchise quarterback, in their entire
They've never had a quarterback that threw for
like
30
years.
touchdowns. Think about that. Russell Wilson has thrown for 30 touchdowns 5 times. The Bears as a whole organization has had 0 times as 30 touchdowns.
Growing up, who was the best one that we've seen? Either Rex Grossman or Jay Cutler. That's it.
Jim McMahon was.
Yeah, but that was your generation. That was your youth. Yeah, that was our youth.
But yeah, that was it.
It was probably Jay Cutler. I mean, I know Rex went to the Super Bowl.
He's
but
the only quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the only Bears quarterback I believe to ever make a Pro Bowl was Jay Cutler.
And the trade that I've seen so far is 2021, 2022, 2023 first round picks, Nick Foles and Hakeem Nicks for fucking Russ Wilson. I'd fucking do it in a heartbeat.
I love Hakeem Nicks too, and I just think if you're Seattle, if you have there's discontent there, that's an offer you can't turn down, and especially if they're like, fuck it, take the 4th one. Here's 4.
How many times have they struck it out? They struck out with Deshaun Watson, the fucking Patrick Mahomes. They could have had all these.
They didn't strike out. They fucking took Mitch Trubisky. That's not striking out. That's not striking out.
That's striking out.
That's a swing and a miss.
That's not a strikeout because they fucking traded up for Trubisky.
What happens when you swing and a miss?
No.
Strike out.
Yeah, I think that they have to do it. Would Russell Wilson succeed in Chicago?
I think Nagy, yes. I think Nagy's a good offensive mind. I think he's put together a good offense there, minus the quarterback. I think Allen Robinson has good number. David Montgomery's there.
Allen Robinson's a free agent.
Yeah, they'll probably bring him. If you got Russell Wilson, you're bringing him back.
Russell Wilson's in for $35 million. You're
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Allen Robinson $20 million. You're going to play.
Well, you're also if the Hakeem Nicks is in that deal. He's paid big money, so that would probably offset with if you sign
$16 million, I think it is right now.
Yeah, the Patriots had him for 1 year, and they did not want to. They offered him the same money, but over 1 extra year, and he said, "No, I'm going to the Bears," and that's a big fucking loss. He was a Pro Bowl player. He was almost all Pro for that team. He's disgusting. Yeah, and you saw it last year when he was hurt. He's great.
The other team heavily in on Russell Wilson are the Raiders.
Same thing. They're probably going to use Derek Carr as trade bait on that, or Marcus Mariota, whatever one they want.
Who do you want back if you're Seattle? Nick Foles or Derek Carr?
Carr. Carr's the better quarterback. Nick Foles is
take Nick Foles and Akeem Hicks or Derek Carr.
I would
Derek
take
Carr.
Nope. It depends on how the draft picks come back. If it's the same draft picks, then I'm taking Chicago. Yeah. Honestly, just because of the Knicks, I think Knicks is the better player.
I still have doubts that Seattle's going to move him. I don't think so. I don't think it's still all a ploy. You don't get rid of a Russell Wilson.
They're not stupid.
Every team. I mean, the Steelers are signing fucking Ben Roethlisberger back. Everyone just saw what happened with Tom Brady, the New England Patriots. No one wants that to happen.
Yeah, Ben just took less money to come back. He took less
14
money.
mil.
He can't fucking play anymore. Oh. All right, couple closing thoughts here and just some off the cuff stuff. Off the cups. Trevor Bauer went out and pitched with one eye over the weekend.
I don't understand that.
I love Trevor Bauer.
I can't decide. I think
he should have been here in Boston. That would have been awesome.
Did you hear that story? Why he signed with the Dodgers?
Yeah, because
there's this website put out Mets gear, so he called his agent and said, "Fuck it, I'm going to the Dodgers." His agent, by the way.
I saw her.
They
did an E60 thing today. Yeah, look it up, Rich. Boner Patrol.
Okie doke. Speaking of Boner Patrol, Tiger Woods found unconscious in his car.
Because he got high.
It's 7:30 in the morning. Could have been a head injury. I'm Team Tiger here. Until they prove it otherwise, they didn't.
I think you said you were a tram Tiger because you were all hopped up on Henny Topper and fucking Burlington.
Then I thought you meant
biscuits.
Tran Tiger because you fucked that dude that looked like Tiger before. It was a Tran.
All right, this has been the Simple Minds Sports Show. Monday.
That was such a lame joke.
March 8th. We'll see you on Fat Tuesdays. Bye-bye.
That's not a lame joke. You got a dick in your butt. That's not lame at all.
So did your mom.
Ooh.
At least you'll be ready for the butt plug when you lose.
I'm not in this. Down here right now. I'm out.
No,
I'll let you know before this. I said I'm out.
No, you're in.
Bill, it's not how
You're
this
in.
works.
No, you're in.
Okay.
It's not how it works.
You're in, Bill.
I'm doing one.
Yes, you are. You have.
Okay, then you lose, and you just pay up now.
Look, you do basically nothing for this show. You have to be a part of when we have these type of things.